Am I live? I am live. Just making sure. How is the micro storage? Hello, FPS. Oh, okay. Glad to hear it. Right sense. Just starting up. You're doing some organizations. I don't know what that's like. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. None of that was really any good. Hello, Biotech. Let me see if what I can dump in here, if anything. Getting my charms cleaned up a bit before we start the hunts. Alright, page 65. Alright, page 91. Should have gone the other way. Should have gone around instead. Alright, and then the other one is... Enduring is the one you want, yeah. Okay. And this is where we clean up the other charms out of. Right, that makes sense. doing pretty good. Yeah, I would say so. Cool. Alright, let's start. Let us start the EX attempts. Alright. We're gonna be doing, what was it, defense up for the Insomnia? Nice, we got fur coating as well. Fur coating is nice for Inglile, because that means no more lava damage. So we gotta play. We gotta use our buffs. Just play careful. And play okay and stuff. Maybe today can be the day. Aim and run. Cool drink. Hunter's drink. And we hop down an affinity oil. I'm gonna save all the might seeds just to be turned into more might pills. Thankfully, his roar slam doesn't actually deal damage. Nope. Why would you do this? Double hip check is how we're starting? Really? Starting with double hip checks. Okay, I was a little worried there. Gonna roll? No. That's a big slam, right? It is a big slam. Come on, get out here. Rolling. Big roll. Okay. We're going. Blow up the rock. We need him to be down before we can sword dance. I mean, sword dance to be up is what I'm saying. Oh, I don't like this. Don't like it. Do the rock explosion. That's scary. Hip checks. Hopefully. Maybe today can be the day. There's the Chaos Oil. Damn, there's so many rocks. You need to explode them. Explode them. Please explode them. There's just so many laying there. What is he doing? There's the explosion. I hate the hip checks. Why does he have to go for that every time? It feels like that's just the thing that kills me. Like I can't get out of the way of the hip checks. The big problem with the Oregon hip checks is he backs up so much from his current position before doing it. Which makes it really hard to get out of the way. Load up. Okay. Very good. Luckily, we were able to recover a fair bit from the hip check hitting us. That's kind of what I was waiting for. After our Chaos Oil ends, we're going to want to apply Affinity Oil, which it did. Make sure we get the right angle so we don't get a normal roll. Back to Might Pill. We're going to want to do a Hunter's Drink soon. There's that. Swords Dance is ready. Okay. Very good. No, I didn't get it off in time. Anyways, Hunter's Drink has to go next. Cool. Thanks for the animation cancel. Appreciate it. Now we want to go to the Mind's Eye oil for our next potential sharpen. When we get the Chaos Oil up. There we go, almost enough. Shelling types and shock types. Oh, how do I feel about them? I like them. I like pre-World Bow's approach more than World's Bow's approach, personally. I don't know, it made bows feel like they had more things to think about when you're picking your bow type. What bow to use. But it did also make some bows be not that great if they had bad shot types or shot levels. Not going in there. Definitely a fan of the gun lance shelling types though, because that changes a lot of how you play. the different types. I have to kind of wait for my opening there. That was way too close. Purple Valors, thank you. And welcome. Welcome to the EX grind. We have Insomniac. We dropped insurance for Insomniac, so I caught it. No more insurance. Yeah, they are really big. You could get out of the way of them with if you didn't have a evade extender, then it'd be more important. Yeah, it is fun. It's definitely challenging. I need to take a cool drink, especially on the end game stuff like this. We've been stuck on EX Crystalbeard for a few streams now, but it is fun. Perfect timing. Yeah, so, well, yeah, this is pretty much all I do here, though, is we just do Monster Hunter and we don't heal and try to make it as far as we can. And that is the stream. Each game often has like additional restrictions to go with it, though. If you do exclamation point challenge, you can see what rules we're playing under. It's not Crab, it's Crystalbeard Duragon. Crab is the Rust Razor. Or Stonefist, depending on crowd. There's the hip check. The dreaded hip check. No, I don't watch SpongeBob ever. Zero SpongeBob. That would explain this. Hello, Game God. Okay, we don't have Sword Dance up, so no Might Pill. That's what I get for being Green Sharpness, okay. I was hoping to get Chaos Oil up so I can just Mind's Eye Oil. I might do that anyways. Works for me. Scary. Yes, oils are silly, but that's okay. There's so many rocks. I do not like this. He's gonna do the big slam. Okay. Thankfully, he did it far away from me. Yes, do this more. Also, hello, high wind. I don't know if I said hi. That was very scary. Okay, we got rocks. Gonna roll. I am not complaining about affinity oil right now, and I need that extra affinity to be able to get out my damage on something like Crystal Beer. I skipped out on my might pill because I had to scroll down to do that. Like, no, we don't have the time for it. Hunter's drinks? Hunter's drinks? Hunter's drinks? Stop rotating at me. Okay. Maybe I've taken advantage of the ledge there to go for a mount, but it was risky, even if he's doing sleeps. Nope. No sword dance ready. Out of Mind's Eye oil. Thankfully he's doing this. Yeah, back off real nice. On him over here. The roll into fart isn't so bad because the gas that comes off of that doesn't last very long compared to his other gas moves. So it's not that bad even if you don't have sleep resistance. That was scary. We've been caught out by that one before. Gonna roll. Thankfully he has to reposition a moment when he wants to roll like that. Now that we don't need to save energy drinks for sleep resistance, I can pop one now and then to keep my stamina up too. Oh, that was a quick movement. I think that set of chin slams is scary because he rotates a lot more than usual when he does those. Gonna roll again. Can I sharpen when he's recovering from that? Maybe. Kind of scary, but yes. I need to do another Hunter's Drink after I do my next Sword Dance. I want to be increasing them both at the same time. I could roll it, but I'd rather just block it for the guarantee to follow up. I wish he would explode the rocks when he falls out of his roll. We got 5 rocks on the field. I would like you over here. That's just asking to get re-hurt. Also, limiting your movement by being near the edge is kind of bad. But sometimes he just wants to camp you at the edge, which is annoying. Like right now, he just wants to throw rocks. We've seen him do this up to 6 times in a row before. So... that was very close to me. I think we found out his front is not the best place to hit if he's enraged, so I'm just gonna go for the tail / feet. Gonna hip check? No, gonna pound. So now we need to Hunter's Drink. Okay, and I also need to Affinity Oil now when I get a chance. That's the big slam. There's my chance. Stamina Oil would be nice. Oh no, not right now, actually wouldn't. But I just Affinity Oil. Stamina Oil would be nice after we get through this cycle of oils. Yeah. Be nice. Bonk. I saw that coming. It's like I'm not rolling in. We've gotten killed from rolling in on that one before. Gonna roll. Roll. Because I don't own one, I don't own it, and 2, while it does have increased effect, it doesn't last as long as Chaos Oil 2 does. But yeah, I haven't done the quest for Chaos Oil 3 yet. That's a that's a scary quest as it is. With my no-heal challenge, that's even scarier. Because, you know, double hyper metal wrath sounds like a great time. Yeah, hyper silver and hyper gold engineering. That sounds terrifying. Can I sharpen here? Ooh, I hope I can get away with this. It's not. It's in. I want to say it's the Ruined Pinnacle, but I could be wrong. Not immunizer. Energy drink. Good thing I looked first to make sure I had the right one. Chaos Oil 2 might not be as good as 3 for stats, but lasting longer is pretty beneficial for a hunt like this. Okay, we almost have Sword Dance. No, it happened! I was like, oh crud, he's gonna come in at this weird angle, and I went in. It's when he does the 4 hit like that, and I go in, that we run into issues. That's the first card, though. So, I'd say that's a pretty good start. I just gotta make sure I keep that up. Chilled meat. Why did I bring drugged meat? Because it's blue. That's why. It's blue meat. Ah, colors. I'm gonna run out of cold drinks for this hunt. Because I don't have any chilled meat, I have drugged meat. Oh, we lost one. 95% success rate and we still lost one. By retainer, you mean insurance? No, because we ate for Insomniac. I'll put the card in after. Nope. No resupply, it's kind of bad for cool drinks. That could be a really big problem, actually. I can't believe I brought drugged meat instead of chilled meat. No! Thank you, I got out of the way. Insomniac, yes. You're thinking I know what you're thinking about. That move is honestly probably the second scariest after the hip check now. Speaking of, tired. If I get a knockdown when he's tired, I'm definitely gonna might kill. Missed the roll, we're gonna need to sharpen soon. Sharpen now. If my cool drink runs out, I may let it tick out so I can use it for the last card. That's the one that got me killed. I didn't have any at the moment, but if I had brought chilled steak instead of drugged meat, this wouldn't be an issue at all. It's just that I got the two blue meats mixed up by accident. Yep, hello Henkel. Scary being near that rock. I made him angry. Cool. Would you mind getting rid of these rocks? I can't go over there when you're doing this. What's he doing? Good, that's a good landing point. I missed my hit though. Okay, gotta use our Hunter's Drink next. Do I have one left? I do, I got one left. Scary! I was scared about the rock, and I was scared about him. That would have killed me. Cool, we'll sharpen up again while he's doing this. I forgot to take my Mega Demon Drug. So I'll do that real quick while he's busy. I hate it when he camps like this. No, get out of there. Fighting near the wall sucks. No! Why does he like doing this? Stop camping. What did I just take damage from? Did he walk into me and I just got hit by the walk? definitely caught me by surprise. Give check. Into the lava. No, my sword dance wasn't up yet. I'm gonna go for it. It was worth it. That was scary. I'm really glad I rolled out. Okay, now we're out of... Yeah, I think it's better that I save my cool drink, my last cool drink, for after I cart. So now we're just on a time, because then I'll have more potential help for it after, you know, for it to use. So we'll just let it tick out at this point. No, do not camp. Don't back into a corner and camp. It's the wrong answer, Crystal Beard. What? The tail? Okay, I'm really glad that we didn't take a cool drink because that tail hit. I didn't want to block because it might have taken away my red health or something silly. Got one hit in, sure. Cool, we're gonna have our sword dance up and ready. Broke the chest. Cool. I was just getting it in our time. Luckily, you can actually hit the chest with green sharpness. Okay. Last cart, last cool drink. Just keep it up. Hey, a demon drug. Energy drinks. Yep, had to do it. Whetstone. Chaos, don't fling me off the edge. Chaos oil, stamina oil, cool drink. And off. Cool, he was gonna go for a hip check, I think, but I interrupted it. That was scary. Block. Had to block it. Didn't want to throw away my chances. Tired. Need to sharpen. Thankfully he's tired and I can get away with this. Where's the rocks? I don't like being on this ledge. No. Stop backing up. Last might pill. Hello, Keffi. Yes, we're trying our best. It's rough, though. I don't ever use them normally, but to enhance Sword Stance, when we get it down, I'm going for it. We need every bit of damage I can get on something like this. Use him as an animation cancel. No, I need to sharpen. gas oil, yeah. None of that now. I need these rocks to not be here. This is scaring me. Let's not get caught out by that. Dang, I need you over here, not near the rocks. Had to block it. There was no time to do anything about it. Dang, out of the rocks, please. Out of the rocks. Really glad I blocked that. Dang it. I hate that I'm losing my health to hip checks right now. Because if my cool drink runs out, I'm going to be ticking down from heat. Why do you always have to curve back into your own rocks? That's annoying. Gonna roll again. Ah, it's a bad time for rolling. That was scary. I forgot the ledge was there. No! I need something I can work with. Stop wasting my time in the rolling. Get him to roar so much. Like he's roaring all the time. Sharpen. I've got a minute and a half and I need to sharpen. I'm almost done. No, don't roll into me. Minute 23. Okay. cooling effect wearing off that we knew was coming. I almost died there. It's okay, it should last long enough for me to time out or win. 45 seconds, yeah. Wow, right at the end, too. Alright, so, probably wasn't going to get a kill then. So the thing is, how can I increase my damage? What can I do to be dealing more damage for this? That's the next question. I might have to swap off SNS to figure out a way to do this. Because we're pushing out the most water we possibly can with the Ludroth SNS. Like, I can't get a stronger water element on SNS. 50, I mean, you could get a little more element attack up on top of this, but 50 is as high as you're getting. We have Repeat Offender and Elemental Crit, giving us, you know, Elemental Crit and more crit, Affinity Oil. We're using Might Seeds, well, we're using Might Pills on our knockdowns for extra damage. I might have to. The thing is, you can only get head break with impact weapons. So I might have to for this. Which means I have to relearn the whole fight. Hitting the head is dangerous. You'll bounce if you're not in purple sharpness. Sharpness does affect elemental, yes. But I don't know if it's significant enough. A significant enough difference, like between blue and white, or whatever. So yeah, hitting its head might be the way to go with, like, say, an ice hammer, I guess. Dang, that was a really good attempt. That was, we almost made it as far as timing out. I thought we might get it on that one. Yeah, it has to be an impact. Thing is, if you get the head break though, if you do get the head break, it's like a 55 or a 60 hit zone or something. I just opened Spotify by accident. That's kind of annoying. I was hoping we could do this with Sword and Shield, and you probably can. I'm just not. I'm not sure about my damage output with this, which is weird. It's worked fine for us up until the EX. Every crystal before this has been doable with SNS. Looking at its hit zones, yeah. Once you get the break, it's 50 for impact and 55 for cutting. But you know, cutting is not going to get it in the first place. So it's a really solid hit zone. Let me look at Kirinico real quick as well to compare. Dang. I just feel very dang about that. Who linked me? Alright, so, Crystal Beard. I will consider that high end, but we'll have a look in a moment. Looking at Crystal Beard on Kirinico comparing to ping stacks. The values are the same, but then when you get the break, I assume that's what break is, or enraged. It's hard to tell. Yeah, that's enraged, I think, for most of that. He just takes less water damage on the head and back when he enrages, I guess, or when it breaks or something, I'm not sure. But the thing is the ice. Yeah, and he takes less forelegs damage too. Yeah, his raw hit zones are so bad for cutting. So we might have to learn this fight with an impact weapon. Hammer. So we'll consider an ice hammer, and we'll consider a... Yeah, the thing is though, I was hitting the stomach some of the time. With... The thing is, the forelegs were good, and then I was going for the stomach if I could, because if I could get a knockdown. I don't know. It's only a, is it what, a 6 point difference between the hind legs and the stomach? Or hind legs and tail. Which isn't much when you're talking about Crystal Beard, I feel like. That 50 head hit zone with 30 ice is very tempting. So I'm trying to think of, like, if you're going for headshots. Well, let me think. So, of his moves, right? He's got... I'm thinking Adept Hammer might actually be useful because you could Adept dodge some of the slams and follow up with punch with your own hammer. Potentially. Because the slams are a problem in that, you know, his head is in place, but it's dangerous to be anywhere near that head during a slam. And you can go for a shot afterwards, but then you might not have time. I'm thinking. Yeah, Adept Hammer. Rocks are easy charge up. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like, if you mean him throwing rocks at me means I can go in for a shot? Potentially, but I don't know, because, like, he does the spin, rocks fly out. But then, after he does that, he sometimes goes in for a head slam afterwards. Also, hello, Ariashi. So, I don't know if that'll be a... We'll have to figure out. I think Ice Hammer... I think it's worth trying it with Hammer. I might want to try it with an existing hammer and see how it feels before I commit to making a nice hammer. That being said, let me pull open pings and have a look at the hammers that have ice. I'll also look on. So, on the Sword and Shield side, for other ones that have water as well, it is in this game, yes, I win. The other water sword and shields, we're using the Rail Water Claw. The dual Hyper Cianatar has a little more white, a sliver of purple, 20 more raw, and 8 less water, and some defense, but has no slots. And this current set was relying on my weapon having 3 slots. Like, if I was to use any of the other sword and shields to have water, I would lose those slots, and I would have to drop a skill because of that. Because it's using everything. So the slots are another potential issue with swapping off of that particular sword and shield. So yeah, let's look at ice hammers. Let's have a look. Hammers that have ice on them, fully upgraded. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 9 total. None of them have... So, white sharpness is the best you get. Purple only shows up on 1 with sharpness plus 1, and 3 with sharpness plus 2. So I think Mind's Eye might be the way to go. Do Adept... If you do a Adept Evade and do a Hammer follow-up, can that bounce? I don't know Adept Hammer very well. Like, can the follow-up from Adept Hammer bounce off? I would assume it can. Alright, you know what? Testing run. Let's find out. Let's just grab... Alright, we are shifting into testing mode. Where we figure out do thing do. Does thing do thing? I don't know. We'll check both of those things, actually. I'm just gonna grab this old set here. It says evade on it, but it doesn't actually have evasion on it, so that's good. We'll grab this temporarily. This thing has white by default, right? Yeah, it has white. We can put into adept. It is an adept already. Both of these could be good. I'm not sure which one I would rather have. This one might be nice. Sorry, spinning meteor would be nice if you get it down. Impact press might be nice. I know it changes your charge attacks. I don't know if I'd want that or not. We'll leave it on meteor for the moment. All right, testing. Testing time. Put that dang drug meat away. Hello, dirt. So we want to test, does white bounce with impact on the head, and it does charge attacks off of adept bounce on the head. Knowing this will tell us if we need to build for Mind's Eye or not. Also, out of the ice hammers available, going for, let's see, the Hyper Zamtrios has white naturally. 2 slots, 57 ice is as the highest and 290 attack. It's lower on the raw side. It's the lowest raw ice hammer, but it has 57 ice. That's a lot. The cool ice core hammer has much less white. 10 more raw, 45 ice. Doesn't ever get to purple with sharpness plus either. Kind of bad on sharpness. Kushala is at 300 or 33 ice. It's just less ice. Same slots, better sharpness. Okay, the Gameth one has 30 ice, 340 raw. Looks cool. Minus 20% affinity is kind of decent sharpness. Giant cone is Blaganga. A sliver of white. Look, I'm considering these ice hammers here. There's also Eucanlos, which is stuck at blue or green, depending on your sharpness levels. But it has all the raw. I don't know. We'll see. Let's test out first. It could be. It all depends, honestly, on do I bounce. And if we have Mind's Eye, we don't bounce. So maybe. The Eucanlos hammer doesn't have a ton of ice to work with, but it has lots of raw. Let's find. Alright, so this is bounce test time. Also, expect a short stream today as well, because I kind of want to do things with some friends who are doing a thing right now. So we'll do our testing stuff, we'll consider where things are at. Maybe work towards a hammer if that seemed like a good idea. Yeah, blunt just adds flat attack, right? So, I totally missed. That did not bounce. The adept charge did not bounce. Well, the Super Slam never bounces to begin with. Let's check the upswing. Upswing does bounce. I definitely bounced off that. Let me try after. That's going to be a problem. Okay. So if you dodge the roll, you can still get caught by the rocks. So that's good to keep in mind. So when he does that, that's something you don't want to be jumping into. Alright, that's okay though. We're still testing. So I like Dragonheart. I'm not going to run it for an Ice Hammer, obviously. This is just the testing phase. Alright, so, level 2 charge. Right, level 2 charge is weird on hand, I forgot. I had Tremor, right? I forgot I had no Tremor res anymore. Yeah, so the upswing after an Adam's hit. Oh, that's a big hit, wow. So, we could get away with Mind's Eye if we want to be able to do... Okay, that can work. Oh, the tremors. That's annoying. Okay. So... We can ignore Mind's Eye if we're relying... I would guess no, but I don't know, and we haven't tested this yet. So Mind's Eye could be a temporary thing. Tremor Res is super good. Hello, Ariashi. Adept Hammer would be interesting. I generally play Guild Hammer when I do Hammer, so... Alright. I think Hammer, we're gonna shift off of Sword and Shield and move to Hammer for this. Okay. Although we were only paying attention, the upswing didn't bounce on white sharpness. I actually want to test. This is relevant. Do I have a hammer with blue sharpness by default? Or green even? This would work actually. I want to know if after the adept dodge, does it bounce? Like, is the adept dodge giving me an attack with Mind's Eye on the upswing, or just something that punches through the sharpness better, through the resistance better? I don't know. Let me go grab this green sharpness hammer to check. I take it you're a fan of Adept Hammer then, Ariana? Thanks, Saragon. Definitely missed. I was gonna take some getting used to this. Oh, are you like this? Okay, it's independent of your sharpness. It just gives you Mind's Eye on the upswing. That's what I cared about knowing. So, do we care about... I mean, normally you care about impact. You care about rot with your hammer. And he does have a good hit zone on the head, the 50. 30 ice is nice. He also has 20 dragon hit zone on the head, which is not as good, but it's still decent, and it's worth checking to see if there's any... What if I expand it to dragon hammers? Is that worth looking at as well? White Fatalis has 73 dragon. That's nuts. I probably don't want to go dragon though. I don't think I want... It's only 290 raw as well. Even if it does have a lot of dragon. Also, yeah, I don't feel like fighting more Fatalis for EXs. Yeah, let's go with ice. Let's stick with ice. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely tempted to go Ucamlos, but I probably want sharpness +1 or sharpness +2 to have, you know, not have to be sharpening because I just get nudged down to green. Because, you know, 360 with 25 ice and 20 defense is kind of nice. Although... Gameth has better natural sharpness, has some slots to work with. What are the skills we want? We're going to be assuming we're probably going to be using Nesset, just because it's, you know, customizable. Easy to work with. Tremorez is still important. Even playing Adept, Tremorez is going to be important because it'll prevent us from being annoyed. I don't know what I want the charm to be. Like a convenient charm for what? Tremorez is easy to gem in, is the thing. You just commit 4 slots like that and you have Tremorez. So it's a matter of what do we want for our charm. I had a Evade Extender for the Uragon with Sword and Shield. Evade Extender is going to be less directly relevant, but I don't think we need to build for Evade Extender. Charms. I think it would, right? It would make you go farther, but it wouldn't extend the Adept window. It would just make you go farther. When it would extend your roll, but not the dodge itself that triggers off of the roll. Is what I'm saying. I know Adept ignores evasion because that changes the evade window itself. All right, let's consider our charms though. 3 slots is obviously going to be ideal because, you know, nest it. Something with Destroyer might actually be relevant. Alright, I'm going to pull my notes. Destroyer is a maybe, dependent on how fast break. Heartbreaker is Destroyer, yes. Tenderizer is also desired because Tenderizer will be a thing once we get the head break, so we definitely want Weakness to Exploit. We want our Tendy. It actually can, yes, because he has a 45 hit zone on the front legs as well. I don't think I'm going to go crit up yet. I feel like there's going to be other skills, but we'll see. When I say crit up is a maybe. Tendy adds 50 affinity, right? 50 affinity when you hit weak points. Okay. Crit up is a maybe. Is a maybe as well. Crit. Going weakness exploit could also make the hammers that have negative affinity be usable. In that sense. That's notably Ucamlos and Gameth. Because they'd be at 30% affinity on the weak points. Gameth has better natural sharpness, 5 more ice, 20 less raw, and 2 slots. Ucamlos has 360, but 25 ice. And 20 defense, and kinda needs at least sharpness +1 to have usable blue. Alternatively, Razor Sharp is also a thing you can consider. Razor Sharp could extend Razor Sharp could extend the white and the blue pretty decently on Behemoth, on a Gammoth Hammer. Quick question, how many Hyper Gammoth Fur do I have? Five. Okay, that puts this in comfy reach because that means I don't have to farm Hyper Gammoth. It does take a Talkoff 4-blade. Ooh, do I have that? I actually do. Okay. So the Behemoth Hammer wouldn't take a ton of work on the end side of it either because of that. I have the annoying parts already. Okay. Alright, so if we look at our charms again, what do we have? Weakness Exploit Charm, just potentially Destroyer Charm, potentially. So we have a Destroyer 4. We have a Destroyer 4 here. We have Tenderizer 4. Destroyer 5. That doesn't matter. Paying attention to other things too. Actually, hold on. I might want Quick Sharpen, depending on what I'm using. That could make upkeep easier. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. I do have Ice Attack. 12. What is Light Eater? Is that free meal, I think? Okay, now we're getting out of the 3 slots. Okay, so I also want to check. Let's see. On the blunt side of things, do we have anything decent? Probably not. Yeah, but that also counts. Doesn't that count towards things like Hunter's Drinks and other things like that? It's not great for me, but yeah. Okay. Tenderizer. We have a couple. We have a Tenderizer 4/3 slot, which is, you know, workable. Yeah. I'm just gonna equip that for now, just because, and we'll see where things go. Okay. On the Destroyer side, Destroyer 6, Expert 10, but no slots. It's a shame this doesn't have any slots. That would be fantastic. That's Crit Eye 3 and Part Breaker and a Charm. Just no slots. I'm definitely considering it, though. We could just gem in Tenderizer elsewhere. Like, if I equip that gives us, yeah, Crit Eye 3 Part Breaker. Which is, yeah, 30% affinity. Let me think about this. If I use a 2-slot weapon... Hold on. Weapon side. Looking at the 2-slot weapons in here, mostly Behemoth. Yeah, we can fit in tool skills. Like, I'm thinking On this one. Don't I have tenderizer decorations? What? Do I not have tenderizer 3s? I thought I removed all decorations. We don't necessarily even need Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye was a consideration, but I don't think we're gonna need it. If we do, we can just, you know, rebuild for it, I guess. Yeah, I would need 2 of these. So I need to go farm some higher Inca cans or high rank Silverlos to make those. Which would give us tenderizer. We go like that, and then something like is grinder important? Is the thing. I don't know. What else would I put there? I don't know. But yeah, we could do a Heartbreaker, Crit I3, Tremorez, Tenderizer, and then some other thing that fits into 4 slots. Crit Element is not going to be a thing that fits into 4 slots. Unfortunately. Grinder could be nice, yeah. I'm definitely considering Quick Sharpen. If I use other like you can those. Lasting power? Maybe. I don't know. No, there's definitely options. I'm gonna say we're just gonna leave it as grinder potentially for now. And see what happens. Okay. Interesting. Alright, so I think what I want to do is I want to practice on. I want to just do some practice on and see how the head break goes. And then what I'll probably do is next stream do the farming up of the new hammer and then fighting EX more. Which would mean, you know, I said short stream is short stream, but I want to do other things today. Unfortunately, there's like mix of like, hey, I want to do thing and I also want to do thing. And those things happen to coincide on the same time. It's pretty great. Alright, so cool drink, that's cool, I had those already. Why was I thinking I didn't have them? I don't know. We should probably, actually no, what we should do is see roughly how hard it is to break the chin, and then try it again with Heartbreaker and see if that's a difference. Like, that would tell us if it's worth, you know, using the charm for Heartbreaker or not. That would actually be beneficial knowledge. So let's do that. Let's try to get a chin break and see how that goes. I have a feeling that it's still going to be worth it because, you know, big EX hours, I guess, whatever that is. Hours isn't the word I was looking for. He's a large, he's an EX, he has higher stats, stuff like that. Why is this set to SP art? I don't know. That's interesting. Alright, so We are now in practice mode. I should have put in Tremor Riz. Ooh, so him walking into us is going to be annoying. I love that. I dodged and then I just walked into it. Yeah, you can't. Oh, that explosion was so delayed from what I was thinking it was going to be. So, I definitely don't know what my openings are. Because he just went for a slam right away, a quick slam. I'm gonna have to relearn this whole fight. Because I'm gonna have to be, yeah, hot-blooded would, that's the one that means you don't have to take cool drinks, right? That could actually be nice. We have to learn how to play around the head, because I've been used to fighting Ergon around the legs, and now I've got to learn the head. And the head is dangerous. Okay. Like, this can definitely work. I feel like. I just gotta get used to moving in this. Yeah, getting used to evading and how to evade out of my hits is gonna take getting used to. I can just go for the arms if I have a good. If I can't get to the head, we still have access to the arms. Oh, I don't have Tremor Riz. Being able to dodge that is nice too. Definitely wasn't ready for that. I thought it was going to come out later than it did. I think this is safe. In the sense that, yes, you can dodge it, but it doesn't matter, so it's not going to hit you. Yes, it is safe. Okay. I need to know what this part break looks like when it happens, you know? I need to stop rolling around. Ooh, rolling into him at the start of that, if you just go straight ahead, means the rocks aren't going to get you. I wonder if that's consistently safe. Okay. I'll take it. So we got a KO. That move is multiple hitboxes. Good to know. Dodging one does not mean you dodge the rest of them. Right, tremors. Dang it! I didn't think I was going to hit me. Testy, testy. Right, that is a point for wanting Tremor is because I could have punished that, but then I couldn't because Tremor. No? Dang it. I don't know if I'm just like not canceling my attack at the right time or not. I gotta get more experience with this Atom Hammer. Unsure. I'm definitely feeling more and more like Heartbreaker is going to be a good idea. I'm just curious as like what point is this going to happen? Because Heartbreaker will be relevant during it, but it will become irrelevant after the part break. But it's important that we get the part break in the first place. Yeah, that seems punishable. Nice. He is an EX Deviant, so he's going to be extra large. Sky Fox. Also, hello. I like your name, by the way. We had a really good run against this thing earlier, and then I carded with like 10 seconds left or something. And it's like, wow, we're not getting anywhere with SNS. Let's do some practice with Hammer and see if it works out better. Right now we're just kind of learning how he moves and seeing if... Can I get the break on the head? How long does it take without Heartbreaker? That's really the question. It's like, how long is this going to take without part breaker? How long is it going to take with part breaker? Yeah, dang it. That's tremor res would have made me be able to punish that, I think. Okay. What games have you played, Cyhawks? Yeah, hip checks might be able to. I'll have to learn the right angles to take it out. That's what I'm worried about. It's like, if he goes for that, how do I keep myself safe from that one, the follow-up? I don't know. Yeah, we need tremor res to punish that one. The tremors don't reach too far out, but be careful. Okay, there's the chin break. We got that roughly 12 minutes in. Also, he drops a carnival? I didn't know this. Okay. So now I don't bounce at all. I can just hit it. Meaty hits. Okay. Okay. The question is, how much faster will part breaker make a difference? I don't know. Oh, the tremors. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get a Crystal Beard specific part, so I'll just hop out. So we can check it out with part breaker and see how it feels. That broke faster than I expected still. Like, it took a while, but it didn't take, like, 30 minutes. Which is good. Yeah, roughly. So let's just see how that feels, though. Like, is it gonna feel like a good enough increase? That's my current talisman I'm using. Earplugs, fortify on it, yeah. I'm just gonna grab the part breaker one we had. We had that nice one with part breaker. Expert on it. Vitality. So we're still very much testing at the moment. Still in a testing phase. So we still don't have weakness exploit on this, but that's okay. Okay. Alright. That's what we're going in expecting, roughly, but we're going to see if that's how accurate that'll be. It also does depend on like, can I take advantage of openings or not? You know, how well can I hit the head reliably? We got it after our first KO on the other one. Thankfully, his pound off a roar does not actually hurt you. It's really odd, but it's very nice. That was good. That scared me. Rock's scary. Oh, that was a miss, really? How sad. Got him. Big whiff. Oh shoot, I didn't even see that one. Definitely caught me off guard there. I don't know. Thing is, I don't really want the level 3 charge. Generally, I don't like focus on the hammer because I want to have more control over my timing on level 2. And that's still the case here. The level 2 charge is the one I want, rather than level 3 most of the time. Because the level 3 charge is strong, but at least it takes a lot of... Dang, I hate that. It has a lot of wind-up, and it leaves me open during that wind-up. It's good, but not all the time. Sort of thing. Just the amount of wind-up you have to do to hit something with that. That's my problem. I need to know, am I canceling it late, or forgetting how big that attack is? Definitely forgetting how big that attack is. Every time I forget how large that is, I'm just shocked at how far away it hits me from. So big. Missed. I died. I didn't roll out of the way. I thought I could roll out of the... I thought I could just walk out of the way. He just kind of like angled himself at me and I died instead. That was unfortunate. Oh well, good to know. You actually do have to roll that. Staples? Sorry? Oh? Does that just make me invincible to the rest of his move if I dodge it? Pretty sure you ran into me. I don't know where the staples came from. No! I hate getting walked into. I don't know if I can evade out of that or if I'm just doing it badly is the thing. That's my own fault. I went in too late. I don't understand your staples comments at all, I gotta say. Yeah, that attack has a lot of end lag. I am noticing this. It's unfortunate. That missed? Okay. Wow. Okay. Stop backing away from me. Why are you like this? It is a company. I am aware of this. Why? Oh, I did not know that they said this. I don't really know company brand sayings, I have to say. How did I dodge that? Bonk. Got him. That was about 9 minutes. So roughly 12 to roughly 9. Is that worth? I don't know. Is that worth? Maybe. It helps that the charm I'm using gives me crit I3 along with that. Maybe. I'm gonna say maybe, unless it's a better charm. Like we could use a Tendi charm instead. Yeah, I know. With carts. So the carts definitely would have slowed it down a little bit. That's true. Now I'm getting a... Oh, okay. That, getting walked into, has happened a lot on this run. Like, a lot. Okay, that keeps happening. When he does his big slam, I either need to go in earlier, or I need to not go in with that move, because the end leg is too long. Hello, it's okay, Big G. All good. I'm not going to be doing stream for too long today. I kind of want to test, Hi. Give me, like, small things, yeah. I just want to, like, in safety, see how fast I can dodge out of it after the level 2. I feel like this is something I just need to know about. This hammer has how much? 330, okay. So the Gameth one will be a slightly stronger as well. I thought there would be Mikhail over here, I guess not. Okay, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it, FPS. Alright, where are all the Macau? Really? I just want to have one hit me. That's a great Macau. Not what I'm looking for, because he'll just be constantly aggressive. Give me some normal Macau, please, so I can check things. I really am finding all of the lack of them. There we go, okay. Hit me, please. So I say I go for this. So... You have to jump up and land. You have to do that before you can do anything else. Okay, come on. Come on. Please? Dang it, I didn't time it right. Up and land, and then you can do it. Okay. What about the other one? The level 1? Oh. Okay, come on. Give me something easier to dodge, please. That does let you act sooner. There's still a bit of a delay, but it's faster. Okay, I want to know... What are the MVs on this, on Adept? Strong Charge 1, R after Adept Evade. That's a 50? Really? on, hit me. Hit me better. Oh my gosh, I can't dodge this. So you can just do that. That level 1 is 50, while as the level 2 is 60. So you're only losing it on 10, and it comes out faster and you're safer. But it doesn't reach upwards as high, and you have to do it sooner. Is what I'm getting out of this. Come on. You can still do it you can still hold it for a little bit before it upgrades to level 2 though. About 2 steps, it looks like. Dang it. I was looking at the wrong one. It's hard to pay attention to all of them at once and see which one's going to hit you. Dang it. Wrong one. Yeah, you get about 2 steps of walking before you have to upgrade to level 2. What happens if I don't hold R? It says R after adaptive aid. Come on, hit me please. Please hit me. Please. Dang it, wrong one. I dodged and didn't do it right. Come on. These are not very cooperative, Macau. Are you gonna do anything? Yeah, you are, just not where I can see. Now they're doing things, I just can't dodge them. Apparently. If I just want to test moves, they're not very cooperative. Yeah, that. You can go into that pretty quickly. Okay. That's better than I expected, although I thought the strong charge 1 would be weaker than it is. Because it's strong charge, yes, but I'm just used to like the normal charge. Guild charge 1 is only 24 or 25 or whatever. So 50 is pretty strong. And strong charge 2 is 60. Okay. Seems interesting. Looking at the style differences, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Wait, hold on. I missed a move in there. Can I just bring like barrel bombs? Small barrel bombs and just blow them up on myself? I feel like that'd be easier for more consistent. Hello, Hyper Apex. How are you feeling today? I noticed this thing said you can press X during a charge, during your add-up charge. Hello, Stray. Hello as well to you. Okay. Messed the timing up. Right, you have to hold the direction to dodge. I should know this. So you can move into this. Oh! Interesting, hold on. It says after a successful add-up evade, you can hold R to charge or do X. Okay, let me try it again. I'm bad at this. Can I get this down? I don't know. I just want to see if this is... So after an add-up dodge, you can press X instead of holding R like I've been doing. And that gets you add-up style's normal level 2 charge. Like that. Which goes into that. Okay. Now I need to know, does that bounce on Uragon or not? It says it's the equivalent of add-up style's normal level 2 charge. Which would be 40 maybe? Hello, Sad Smiley. What a name that is. Alright, let's check. We're currently just doing some testing stuff at the moment. Now we want to know... Should have brought cold drinks. Does that move attack? Does that attack bounce on his chin? They have parrot feet. I missed. I need to test this. It's important to test. Hello, Mango. We're just doing testing at the moment, really. It's harder to hit with because you have to be in line with what you're running at. You can't be holding R. I don't know if I bounced or not. I blew up, so right. That's a multi-hit move. That's a multi-hit move. It might have been a bounce. I'm not sure. Yeah. So we had at the start of tonight. We had a really good Sword and Shield run, which triple carded with 10 seconds left on the timer. I made like one mistake right at the end, and carded at the end. But we made it almost timed out, using might pills and everything. Like anytime we got it down, we popped a might pill and Swords danced, and all sorts of stuff going on. And we did not get him down. So it's like, alright, maybe I need to hammer and work on the head or something. Which means now we're testing to see, you know, what works on the head, what doesn't. I want to know if that move is going to bounce or not, with white sharpness. It does. Cool, that's what I needed to know. It does indeed bounce. So you need to use the R charges. Okay, that's good to know. It's kind of awkward to aim that in the first place, but it's good to know that that is a bounce. The R strong charges do not bounce at all. Okay. So I think though that we're going to opt for this hammer here, which looks really cool. Honestly, it's one of my favorite hammer designs that they added. One of the newer ones. I'm a big fan of this design. Big gear shape. Gun hammer? Maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. Looks like I need some hyper ice blocks to continue that one. Except world, yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is words. I'm trying to say things. I have my plan for what I want to do for next time. We need to build this hammer up. I need to make some tenderizer gems, which means high rank a Candor and high rank Silverlos. Build up a hammer set, using Nesset, of course. And then start trading on EX Crystal Beard with new hammer. I'm gonna do that next stream, and ideally I would make next stream a longer one as well. I know this is only 2 hours, but I have multiple things I wanted to do today, and I didn't want to not stream again today. So 2 hours, like 2 hours is some time, but it feels so short from what I normally do. It's just short, and I don't like short. It feels weird. That's how I feel about this. It feels strange. But I'm gonna pass off to Tempered Ghost instead. And then next time I stream, I will try to do a nice longer one. A nice long one like I like to do, you know? We'll get our new stuff set up and all that. Yeah, Ghost is playing GU as well, so go say hi to him. I can't imagine doing like a 1 hour or an hour and a half stream would feel so strange to me. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, next time we have our plan, we'll build up our stuff, and hopefully then we'll have to train against Crystalbeard for a while. But I have my goal now, and we'll get there. 30 minutes would be weird. I don't know about this. Anyways, yeah, see y'all later.